This guy, see if this works real quick. This guy, see if this works real quick. Okay. So, hi, I'm Sergeant Laptop. So I wanted to talk about rogue decks. I've always been a rogue deck player, and that's just how I roll. Ever since I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not that I can't play a meta deck. It's just the fact that I prefer building my own just because it's crazy. And I like how they function better. Mainly because card-specific cards are super annoying. Man, I'm hearing myself echo. There. Anyways, I have one phone for my Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and my other phone for my regular stuff, and I have this one on live stream chat, so I can see if anybody comments. But anyways, yeah. So I hate card-specific cards, mainly because it's card-specific. You have to pull Infernoid, or Chronomaly, or Blue Drive, and I don't have the patience or time for that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is supposed to be quick-acting and fast-acting, and quick thinking, and psychology of you and your player, like, it's a strategy game for a reason, and don't get me wrong, the strategies in meta decks are amazing. They are. They're just not for me in general. So, like, with a lot of meta decks, more specifically, like, take Dark Magician's deck, for example. You have to wait to pull a spellbook, you have to wait to pull all kinds of different spell cards, and using all that to summon a Dark Magician, or using all that to bring back a Dark Magician from the graveyard, or this, it's frustrating. I'd rather have my whole deck work for me than to have it sit there and kind of just, if I say somebody pulls an attribute card or whatever card that says, hey, you can't run Dark Magicians, you can't run Spellcasters, you're screwed, So, that's why I'm doing it the way I do. Like I said, I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Since I was probably 12. And, I'm pretty experienced. I'm not saying like I'm a veteran and I'm the best there is. I'm gonna be real about it. I mean, I'm probably average at best. I don't really like to toot my own horn when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh, but I'm obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh. It's just the fact that there is not. I hate when you do that. There's not a whole. What's the word I'm looking for? Strategy theory behind doing card-specific cards. Don't get me wrong, it's it's meta decks. They go and win, nationals and regionals and whatever, but they're just not for me. They're annoying. That's why I like my recent plays. Go through that a little bit. You're gonna see this one. This one is my craziest one. I lost, but you watch it with me here. It works. All my cards work as an engine together instead of working for singular parts. But this one was. I posted a video of this. I think it was like last week or something. But yeah, it got pretty wild. So this guy is pulling Apprentice of the Illusion Magician, and it's mostly a spellcaster set. And don't get me wrong, he plays the spellcaster set pretty hard. He starts out with it pretty hard. Then I come in and I annihilate it, and I play this card. I didn't have anything else to play with, so I just put that one down just for defense. But the minute, I think it's after main 3, it just starts going nuts from there. Like, nuts. Our Dark Magician comes in and takes me out. Whatever. By the way, I love my Time Lords. I love those. Because then he takes out Dark Magician. Brings in that. And mind you, he brought in this strong card. And my little teensy-weensy card was able to pull this off. You'll see here in a minute. $1,000 damage. That's pretty good. And right about this main phase, it's where it starts to get a little crazy, because he starts pulling them. I mean, he starts pulling them out. I mean, he brought out Maiden of the Blue Eyes, and that alone is like, oh shoot, he's got a Blue Eyes White Dragon all ready to pull, you know. Yeah, I like doing this live with you, so that way I can explain to you like what's going on and stuff. That card, every time one of my monsters gets sent to the graveyard, I get to pull a card, or draw a card, I mean. He's up to 4,100 attack. Just FYI. Like, he got it up that high. That's what's crazy to me. Stupid. Freaking, I hate when it does that. So you'll notice that, like, not every single card I have is an effect card, but the effects I do have, like, they kind of work within each other, like pull a dragon from the graveyard, or special summon a dragon, or negate spell traps. But they're not like card specific. They're not like, you know, you can only pull a zombie level 7. No, it's if you have a dragon card in the graveyard, pull this. If you have a monster in the graveyard, I try to keep it vague as possible. Like I said, I'm not a great player, but as long as I get to pull something from the graveyard or amplify its attack with an effect, it's pretty cool. It brings out Obelisk, and I just bring this guy out. And here's my favorite part. You'll see it here in just a moment. Okay, he annihilates my Red Eyes Metal Dragon. But this is just right here. So I put this up, right? I banish a whole bunch of his cards. Okay. And then I lay out Flagos, and it gets real pretty after this. Mind you, he's got Obelisk out, which shouldn't be affected by spells, traps, or effects. But that one card with the wolf on it right there. Oop, wrong one. Grave of the Super Ancient Organism negates the attack of higher level cards, which obviously it's Obelisk. can't be affected by that. But if you watch, like, every single card I have, it works with each other. It doesn't, like, it's not card specific. I threw away that card, which kind of made me upset because I should have expected that. But yeah, they all work with each other, and I don't want them to be, like, I don't want to say super singular, but not card specific. So, like, if I were to have it my way, I would want them to, like, say, only have 2 cards left in my hand. I want them to be able to work with each other and bounce off of each other. Like, right here, I got my ancient organism that's going to stop the higher cards from attacking. I got this card that just pulled out Obelisk out of nowhere. Now I own Obelisk, even though Obelisk was kicking my booty. And I got to draw 1 card, which is going to give me more cards to work with, and it works out. And this one, Denko Senka, it works almost like a negate, almost. Well, it negates stuff, but not as good as Ash Blossom, but still helps negate things. Now they put my Flagos in the graveyard. My Flagos' effect says I get to move your strongest monster to the graveyard and then pull back 1 out. So I pulled this guy out, put that one away. Draw 1 card since it was sent to the graveyard. I took down Dark Magician's crazy high attack and brought that out. And I'm going to bring back Flagos again. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but probably not. I love Flagos in my deck. And that boy could... It's not the fact that he can, like, move the strong cards and stuff. Because when you move strong cards, you have to bring another one back out. But it's the fact that I have the ability to choose which one I want out and which one I can prepare myself for mentally. Like, look at that. Dark Magician with 6,500 attack. That's insane, bro. Insane. You know, mind you, this was like last week's duel or something like that. I don't remember what day specifically, but every time I do a duel and I lose at least, like, 4 or 5 in a row, I learn, okay, this is not working for me. So I added a new card or remove cards. That's why whenever you see my deck played, my brain's not working with my mouth. Whenever you see my deck being played in every video, it's almost a new deck set. Almost. Most of the cards, but 90% of the time it's added or removed, just so, like, I understand my deck better. Plus, if you guys ever go against me, you guys won't know what to play with. So, yeah, that's just tough one to me. So this part gets kind of neat. It brings out Blue Eyes. Well, I bring out Blue Eyes, sorry. And I get him up to 3,300 attack, and I think for a minute, oh man, this is going to be crazy cool. I'm going to wipe him off the floor on this one. But just wait and see. Because this guy, he pulled it out on me. I mean, he really pulled it out on me. And I gotta respect him for it, because this game, usually when you play Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm very competitive, but I'm not, like, crazy competitive where I'm like, this guy's a loser. I can respect a game when a game needs respect, and this game he deserved all the respect. This guy played good. I mean, he played good. So I got Blue Eyes, and I'm not even going to attempt to say that. Out, he's got Dark Magician Girl, all spellcasters, and Ra's disciples out there. And guess who's going to bring out? Think about it. If he's got 2 Ra disciples, you already know. You already know. I tried stopping it with that Flagos by bringing out a different monster, but, couldn't happen, which sucks. But everyone knows what's about to happen. Like, even I saw, as soon as he pulled out one Ra's Disciple, I was like, well, there goes the game. You know, definitely. But, you know how that works. But, I mean, this game went on forever. I mean, forever. And that's because my cards worked for me. My rogue deck cards worked for me. This part right here. That's what breaks my heart. Yeah, look at that. 7,000 attack. Wild. That's just wild. Wild, wild, wild. Finished. Respect to you, Richard. That was a great play. I will show this video off to any of my friends. Literally, the way he played his deck compared to my deck was immaculate. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's... Got moves and stuff around. Mind you, I do all this live. I don't got no script or anything or schedule thing. I just kind of whip it together. That's why I do rogue decks, man. Like, you've seen how that played together. They all worked as an engine together. Like, even if I lost a few cards, I still had these to play with. I still had these to play with. But once they were together, they worked as a machine. You know, like... And if they were targeted for an attack, it didn't matter if I just lost one. You know, it wasn't like you lose, you know, Billy Bob, whatever. Now you can't play these three. No, I can. Still can because they work in functionality. Now, I'm only, by the way, here's my name. Sergeant Laugh It Up. That's my ID right there. I'm only gold right now, but I'm working on my plat again. I mean, I gotta do my deck again, as I do every single time. Like I said, I add onto it, but I just really love rogue decks. Now, as for meta decks, if you're a meta deck player, that's good for you. And don't get me wrong, I respect that. But like the Scapegoat podcast said in a long joke, or a joke from long ago, Yu-Gi-Oh players cannot read. I'm not saying that they can't read. I'm saying, like, for example, like Pot of Greed. It gets confusing. You know, and once you do too much, you're doing too much. And it just, I don't know. It takes the game out of the game almost, because it's like, I've had duels, or don't get me wrong, I've been taken out in one turn, just constant summoning. Don't get me wrong, I mean, those guys are probably the plat players, or fucking screwed up my train of thought there, but those guys are the top tier, you know, players. But I just can't do it. It's just too much, and it's not that I don't understand, it's just I do. It just, sometimes it takes too long to summon cards, sometimes it's just like, summon. You know, it's like, I don't know. Basically, I'm saying I'm bad at the game. No, I'm just kidding, but, I'm average. Like I said, I'm average. I'm trying to be the best. I'm trying to be the very best. Like no one ever was. But, no, for real, like, I try. I give my hardest. But I just can't do meta decks. I can't do meta. Meta is just so... It's so hard. I mean, I got videos where I've destroyed meta decks. I've got video after video after video. But I've also got videos where I've destroyed rogue decks. You know, and I'm constantly changing my deck and upgrading it and moving it, and I mean, I made it up to gold right now. I'm up to gold, and I'm almost to plat. So, that means I'm at least average, decent. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I'm decent. So, like, my rogue decks are working for me. That's just proof. Like, you have to know what you're doing, though, with rogue decks, because they're so... I want to say not malleable, but like constructive and destructive and just you have to work with each other, and that's the hard part. Oh, the screen. You have to really make them work, and that's what's crazy. Because like with meta decks, they're pretty much just structure decks, but you add in here and there things to give it a boost. But with rogue decks, it's you're building them from scratch, like from scratch, and that's what's insane. Is like that rogue deck is you. It's your mentality. Is who you are as a person. Or if you could say in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's the heart of the cards. Yeah, you're putting your heart and soul into this deck. And I'm not trying to sound like some nerdy weirdo like that. Like, this deck is all about me. That's what I care about. You know, this is how I feel. No, like, it's you, but it's how you process and how you think. It's that rogue deck is your personality. It's who you are as a person. And that's, like I said in my last Channel Talks video, I don't know where my camera is. It was right here. Hi. Anyways, in my last Channel Talks video, I specifically said, like, it's what makes you you, and it literally is how you are. Like, I do petty decks. Like I said in my last video, I do petty decks. I don't care if it breaks the board. I don't care if it stalls the game, if I win or lose. I just want to watch your deck break. And it sounds terrible. I'm not a jerk in real life. I really am. I'm bubbly, I'm happy, and I go to work like everybody else, and I do stuff like everybody else. But it's just the fact of, like, when your rogue deck that you hand built by yourself, put your time and work and mentality into, destroys a meta deck, especially if it's a Dragon Maid deck, because those are superb right now. Ooh, that feeling you get? These little feels? A little feely? Let me tell you. Now, I mean, you can take out a Dragon Maid deck with a lot of, like, some meta decks. I don't know, Dragon Maid's pretty strong. And Crusadia decks, too. Igniter decks. I mean, Igniter, they're not that bad. But, like, I don't know, hero decks, and what's that newer one? My brain's farting right now. Anyways, it's the feeling of, man, I made this from my blood, sweat, and tears, and it's finally destroying, like, a Dragon Maid, bro. Like, you know, I've seen rogue decks destroy a Skull Servant deck with 10,000, 11,000 plus attack. And I was like, what? You know, oh, the screen. I need to shut that off. I should have thought about that when I was doing another live video. But anywho, as I'm talking, I'll just duel. I usually don't do this, and like I said, it's not my thing, but I'm probably going to lose. I don't really care. But I just, like, you know, want to talk about it. So, yeah, it's the feeling that you get when you build. Imagine building your own car, and, like, it beats a Ferrari or a Porsche or whatever. Imagine if that just happens, and you're just like, what? Dude, that feeling is like, this company spent millions of dollars making this thing, and I did it by myself, destroyed it. I destroyed it by myself, and it's so nice. Yeah. Another plus side to rogue decks are, like, I can already dang near expect to see, yeah, ZS cards from this set. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So long that I can recognize meta decks. I can recognize what's going to be played, other than the handful of cards that are added. So I kind of know what to play, but it's with the years you put into it, plus the knowledge of cards, that you know what to expect from a Zexal or Zexal era cards, or Gold Sarcophagus, or Ra's Disciple, you know what to expect to be played with most of those cards. Like Utopia, these are annoying. I mean, they're strong. Don't get me wrong, they're strong. They're annoying. But I already seen him. I already expected that because he was playing a ZS card. It was going to be a Utopia, 100%. It was going to be a Utopia or along the lines of like possibly a hero. Here and there heroes, and then something along that lines. Just because Utopias are just reckless. Yeah, see, like 3,000, 2,500 is ridiculous. But that's what I expected, because it's Utopias. Like I said, I'm expecting to lose this one, 100%. And that's because I know what I'm expecting. Like, with my experience in the game and my knowledge in the game. But I'm still gonna do what I do, so here's what I'll do. He's gonna try to negate that. See? You can just expect it, man. It's just the knowledge, Why not? Oh, that's a tough choice. And that's what I mean, is like, I don't want to give up my rogue deck cards, because like that one I just threw away. I had to throw away. I didn't want to, because it would have worked so perfect to negate his stuff, but I guarantee by round 2 of his, or round 3, he's gonna just swipe me out. And it's not just because I'm bad. It's just I know what to expect, because my deck is not strong enough to handle that. I know it's not, but like I said, this deck it's still at a work in progress. I mean, I've only been working on this deck for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks at best. So, yeah. But at least I know, like, this 1900 Dragon, Luster Dragon, not a huge fan of it. And some of them you actually get started with them. Not a huge fan. Yeah. But being that it's such a baby fresh deck, I know what to expect. My brain is like error. I don't know why. I wish he would have came out like maybe just a little bit sooner. Yeah, like I know that this baby deck right here isn't gonna win against Utopias, but it's won against Dark Magicians. It's won against what is it? It's won one match against Dragon Maids. It's won match against zombies. Oops. Ah. There we go. Called it, didn't I? Called it. Utopias are just so OP. It's crazy. It is crazy. Like, crazy. And that's the thing, is like, if I could play a Utopia correctly, I guarantee I'd be just as crazy or even better than what my deck is now, but... And yes, I called my deck the running turd. But just, Utopias are just so insanely packed with attack. Like, I already knew. My little baby ain't gonna handle that. My little baby's strong, but... not that strong. And I do when I do these live videos, I want to keep them live. I don't want to cut things out and make it look like I'm, fake or whatever. No. If I do a mess up, we're human. I'll mess up. Just like my road deck, this is a mess up. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, what we've got going on here? It'd be too early to play that, but why not? Oops. Now, you see when I concentrate, this lip thing or whatever, it's kind of annoying. What? It's my concentrating phase. I'm thinking real hard. Now, he started out with a 13th grave and is Soggy the Dark Clown. So, he's either going to have to play a zombie or a spellcaster. Oh, yeah. Or both. I mean, both is a good combo. Kinda. Okay. Let's see. Oh, threw a beast in there. Okay. So he's got a rogue deck too, kinda. Let's see what that goes. Usually I wouldn't do a video like this where I'm watching you guys, or letting you guys, watch me play. I don't like it. But I wanted to talk about rogue decks and how they function. So whether I lose or not, I just wanted to show you how rogue decks function with each other and why they kind of match up with metas, because they can go, except for obviously Utopias. Utopias will kick you into booty, So I just don't know how he's gonna play this. Now that I played Flagos, I think it might hurt me more than. Oh no, he just did that. I don't know. This might be a turnaround. I keep doing that. I don't want to keep doing that. If he doesn't pull a card by 3rd or 4th round, he's going to surrender. Most likely. I've noticed that's been a trend here lately. I don't know why it keeps pulling out Soggy. He has no effects. Unless he's got a card somewhere that says all the damage you took this turn, I don't know, but I mean, we'll see. I thought this would have more functionality to it, but I don't know. Seems to be getting strange now. See, now I use Flagos. I'll do that. Yeah, I'll just do that now. Why not? Ta-da! Flagos is back. I love Flagos. He just jumps around. He's just like a little hopper. Boop. because I want to see what happens, or what would happen. Yeah. So Flagos, his special ability is when he goes to the graveyard, he can, like I said, he can move your opponent's monsters. But you have to return, like you can take one from his side of the field, move it to the graveyard, but you have to return at least, almost the exact same strength.